So apparently this 911 call sparked fury. Let's watch this.
We are signing an executive order aimed at reining in this out of control administration. The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
You are effectively going against federal order. You know this, right? You're going against federal orders. You're essentially telling the president of the United States to fuck off by doing this.
Chicago's mayor looks to ban ICE agents from city property as ICE agents continue to find themselves under attack from rioters.
Those are federal agents.
After Chicago police were reportedly told not to come to their aid. But Chicago's top cop says that's not true.
Our officers were not told to stand down. Our officers were out there throughout the entire event. I would never tell our officers to stand down, because if our officers were in trouble and we needed help from other officers, I would expect those.
Then why aren't the officers responding to any of the assaults that have been in the general area of the ICE facilities? Why is it that last week, Fox, I think it was Fox or CNN, covered them talking to a police officer saying that they need help. Actually, maybe it was an ICE agent at one of the facilities who was, that's besides the point. They were pretty much saying that they had assaults that were going on around the facility, not in it, like around in the general area where the rioters were, and no police were showing up.
Those officers to
Explain that one to me. How does that happen?
step in and help us. And it's the same thing that we do on our side. When someone is in trouble, we're going to step in.
Well, let's bring in
I love
John
you, Drive safe.
Hoyt. He's a National Fraternal Order of Police.
This guy is so based. I'm sorry, this guy is so based.
Second Vice President. John, thanks so much for joining the program. Now, the superintendent, that may be true from his perspective, but when it comes to the commander of the patrol,
I don't understand how you think that at a state level you can go against something at a federal level. You do know that a federal level event covers every single state in the US. That's why there are state laws and federal laws. You can get away with something at the state level, but then you're charged federally and then you're fucked. Like,
this is the audio that we heard. Let's play it.
So the chief of patrol, clear everybody up. We're not responding over there.
oh my God, they literally just lied. That's crazy. Oh, come on.
Per the chief of patrol, we have all the units that per 999. Chief
No shot. No shot.
Not true.
We're out there throughout the entire event. I would never tell our officers to stand down, because if our officers were in trouble and we needed help from other officers, I would expect those officers to step in and help us.
So the chief of patrol,
This is the audio.
not responding over there. So the chief of patrol, clear everybody up. We're not responding over there.
Look at that. Look at that. Look what I just said. I just said that. I just said that. They already had somebody at the facilities that were saying that they weren't even responding to assaults in the area. Look at that. Look at that.
The chief of patrol, we have all the units that per 999. Chief of patrol said all units clear out from there. We're not sending anybody over to that location.
That's
So, of
insane.
course, there was pushback because we all know in law enforcement, you hear 1033, 1013, you show up to help cops.
Yeah,
That means that just like a foreign fucking country, if those ICE agents, if that facility was being like attacked, like what's been going on, they're completely on their own. And they're wondering why they're trying to push the National Guard around these ICE facilities. I wonder fucking why.
And thank you for playing that.
Come on.
It's important that the public knows the reality. You know, I appreciate the superintendent's words. That's what he should be saying. But clearly, there's some form of disconnect if his command staff is giving orders not to respond to help our brothers and sisters in federal law enforcement. And quite frankly, as police, whoever it is that calls us for help, we
I can't stand somebody that's gonna say brothers and sisters and ain't part of it, bro. Unless you like, I would never like. You have levels of management for anything, unless you're in actively doing something. Like if you're actually going out on patrol, or like if you're a firefighter and you're actually fighting fire, or you're with the captain going into a building, or you're the apparatus driver who's actually doing something, you're a brother and a sister. Don't misconstrue that. Whenever you move up in ranks and you're no longer going out on patrol and you're no longer going in and fighting fires and you're not riding down and doing stuff, don't get that twisted, man. A brother and a sister is somebody that's gonna have your back in a fire. When you stop fighting fire and you stop going out on patrol, you get rusty. You ain't the same. I don't want your ass protecting me. You end up getting me killed. Hell no.
can't be
I never did
selective
like
in
that.
who we decide to help, whether it's another law enforcement agency or the public. You know, our ethos is helping people. That's what we do as law enforcement. And as someone who's been in a situation where you need to call for help as you're getting surrounded and overrun, you know, I question whoever that commander was that gave that order, how much time they spent on the street as opposed to studying for promotion, because quite frankly, completely unacceptable to ever give that order.
I mean, it's like the cardinal rule in law enforcement. You don't leave another cop stranded. I don't know how this person keeps their job. I mean,
That's what I was just thinking. Bro, he's so based. He's so fucking based. I love that guy. He's so good. I was just thinking that. I was like, how does somebody like that even keep their job? Like, there's no way. But somehow, I guarantee you, he's still going to have his job.
The most deadliest part of the job is traffic stop, patrolling. So, are you hearing the same thing on the ground from your Chicago cops that are part of the National Union?
100%. I mean, they released a statement immediately. They were 100% against the order that was given, and they called the command staff out for that.
And it makes me wonder how many times that's happened since this has started that you haven't heard about. See, the only thing that stopped that from happening was the fact that it you know, people know about it. I wonder how many times that's happened and they've just straight up lied about it happening.
Listen, our officers on the street, Chicago as well, we swear an oath to the Constitution. That's what our oath is to, not to some mayor's political agenda and political policy.
That's right.
You know, again, we are out there to help people, whether it's the community or other law enforcement officers. When we are asked for help, we respond. And, you know, I have a lot of faith in my brothers and sisters in Chicago. And I know that maybe they were given that order, but they're not going to let someone get surrounded and get hurt. And quite frankly, the chances of an officer getting killed in that situation are high. So I know they did the right thing.
Likewise, brother. I want to get your comments on this other story. The Washington Post is reporting that some rank-and-file D.C. police have accused supervisors of downplaying, the serious crime to make their precincts seem safer, as critics call on President Trump's use of the national.
It's all falling apart now. It's all falling apart. Look at that. Isn't that kind of crazy how the minute you start peeling away the layers, like I said, you start peeling away the layers and you start seeing it all fall apart.
Garb, what do you make of this? Apparently they were telling them the low...
Those numbers, those fake-ass numbers that they've been giving out are only going to last for so long until you start peeling back those layers.
Some of these serious offenses.
Yeah, you know, once again, like in Chicago, it gets very dangerous when you let political agendas influence law enforcement policy and management. Listen, the cop on the street is doing the job the right way. They're writing up the reports accurately. When you let a Democrat agenda affect how people are grading policing and grading what crime classifications are out there, it becomes very dangerous because, one, a department needs to be transparent with its community about the struggles and the successes. And number two, the department's then going to improperly allocate resources of the department, depending on those crime statistics. So then when you alter them to fit your agenda, your department's not going to be fulfilling their mission the proper way.
It's such a good point, especially after the defund measures. Of course, crime was going to skyrocket, and then
then you got all these fucking places releasing these criminals back into society, and you don't have the funding for the police. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
to fudge the numbers. It's just all terrible for the people on the ground. Sir, thanks so much for joining the
Jesus,
program.
that's crazy.